Hey Spartans, this is AA25 Mamba, and welcome back to Arena Analysis. In this episode, I'm going to be breaking down a Slayer match on the rig. This was played with a full team at the borderline Onyx level of the Slayer playlist, which is in the mid to upper 1900s. So to begin with, we spawn on red side. And for those of you that don't know, there is an ideal setup on the rig when playing Slayer. This map plays entirely different between Slayer and Strongholds, the two game modes available on this map. For Slayer, you want to generally hold the inside of the map, where in Strongholds, you want to try and control the outside of the map. So immediately, blue team is going to spawn at a slight disadvantage in retrospect to red team. So, to begin this match, we all designated a specific role for one another. My role was to get the sniper rifle and bring it back to bunker. So to begin with, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to slide boost over to the sniper rifle and grenade the long haul. A lot of times what happens is blue team will send a player through this hall in the snipe hall to try and come out and stop the player from the red team that is going for the sniper rifle. They'll try to bank grenades through here. They might try to rush and get in your face with an assault rifle. So I like to throw some deterrent grenades in that hallway to get some damage on and try to finish anyone off that comes. The blue team did not elect to do this, so I'm going to slide boost back to bunker. Now, for anyone that wants to know how to do the slide boost, that is when you thrust, hit the slide button, and then jump. It's going to create a faster movement speed and allow you to travel through the air further. Now, an ideal setup on the rig would be for one person to have the sniper rifle in this bunker area. This is a main spawn point. This is where red team initially spawns and where a lot of spawns occur on the map. So if you have a teammate in the bunker, you're going to block the enemy team from spawning here and having easy access to the inside of the map. Now the person blocking the spawn does not have to have the sniper rifle, but it is ideal. So that person's job is to stay alive back here and anchor the setup for as long as possible. That person can move down the bunker stairs into the bottom floor to get a better view on engine 1 or tower 1. They can stay on the platform where I am right now, and they have a good line of sight to tower 1, tower 2, the snipe platform, snipe hall, white corner, and engine 2, or they can rotate to the inside of the tower and have a line of sight on tower 1, snipe platform, long haul, basement, white corner, and to an extent engine 2, as well as the opposite side sewer. So other than that, the ideal setup that I think on the rig would be perfect to hold down would have someone in this engine area. They can roam engine 2, engine 1, they can even jump up into the treehouse like my teammate is doing now, or they can try to patrol the Whitehall. What this is going to do is allow easy access to camo as well as denying the enemy team routes into your inside setup from the nest in engine 1. The other teammate I think is ideal to have in the tower 2 area. They can be tower 2, they can be tower 3, tower wall, jump down to tower 1, and this is going to give excellent lines of sight to engine 2, underneath engine, both sewers, the camo, snipe platform, white corner, tower 1, and yellow corner. Now the fourth person should ideally be roaming around white corner here. I like to refer to them as the roamer, freelancer, or whatever you like to call them. Their responsibility is going to be to try and get shots on anyone trying to push into the inside of the map. Now, it should be noted before I start going into this in depth, this is going to be, the rig on Slayer is generally seen as more like of a lockout type of gameplay, if you're familiar with that, and that it's very slow and stally with the team on the inside having a good setup and the team on the outside trying to break it. And as such, this is going to be a rather long breakdown, and in this video, my team is going to hold the setup, we're also going to break the setup, and I'm going to give tips to that. So to start this off, I am in the bunker with the sniper rifle. My job is to watch tower. So to start off, there's going to be someone pushing tower 2, and we're going to be able to clean them up. Now I think off this gameplay we get 4 down, so we have a stranglehold on map control. So as you can see, the other main spawn point on this map is back here where the blue team initially spawns on Carbine. 3 blue enemies just popped up here, so that is going to be their main spawn, and that's fine. So my responsibility is just to watch the choke points that I've laid out at the beginning of the video. My teammates are going to be calling out where enemies are coming from so I can look in that direction. I'm going to leave the outlines on, that way you can see how the enemy team is trying to break the setup as well as the setup they're holding when we break it. So there I was just checking the line of sight and I got a headshot. There's no shame in hard scoping these lines of sight. When you have a sniper rifle, it's a power weapon for a reason. There's no need to be running around the map trying to get quick scopes or no scopes or make flashy plays. At higher levels of Halo, or any level of Halo in that matter, you need to use the weapons in their most efficient manner. And with the sniper rifle, that is most times to be quote-unquote hard scoping a lane to deny the enemy team access to that lane. So as you can see here, the blue team is on the inside of the map trying to make a push here. Now, the camo on the rig is going to spawn on the hatch, and it's going to come up every 2 minutes and 2 seconds after it's picked up. So a lot of times they'll try to shoot the camo down by shooting the white circle under the hatch, and it'll fall lower to give you more cover to try to pick up the camo. So as you can see here, I'm blocking the bunker spawn. Every time we get a kill on an enemy, they are going to spawn on the outside of the map and not in bunker. What happens is if someone moves up from bunker to, say, even tower, I've seen even before me being in tower, no one being in bunker, and someone being on engine, an enemy spawning in bunker behind them. So if an enemy gets this spawn, they're immediately on the inside of the map and have access to your setup to kill you. That's not what you want. You want to block that spawn for as long as possible. This is a popular tactic to break this setup that you're going to see me doing later in this video. We have an enemy crouch walking in engine 1 with a close range weapon. There's an SMG that spawns right here that's excellent to pick up. A lot of times you'll see an enemy crouch walking here, coming up on this apparatus and trying to jump up into engine 2 or continue to creep along and go up bunker stairs to break this setup. It's very important to watch that. So as you can see here, that person's doing that. I popped the shield and call that out, but I'm taking fire from tower 2 here. So what's happened is we have the enemy team trying to break the setup in the best way possible by pushing at least one person through tower to serve as a distraction, and everyone else focusing engine 1 or the nest area. That is a good way to break this setup, but thankfully Fear is able to pick up that kill, and I'm able to run back to the other side. A lot of times, if they're pushing through engine 1, I like to take the sniper rifle to tower wall. That does a couple things. For one, if you're on tower wall, you have a good line of sight to anyone jumping engine 2. It also gets you a little distance from the person that's pushing you with a close range weapon into bunker. You can turn around and try to get a nice shot on them as they come through bunker to assault you, and since I know that person's here, is what I do. As you can see here, there's 2 people coming on the bunker stairs. As I said, they're trying to break this setup. I'm aware of that, and I'm going to be looking at this doorway waiting for someone to come around the corner. Sure enough, it happens, and I'm able to get the kill. Now we have the scatter shot and the sniper rifle in the bunker. This is ideal. I'm communicating that to my teammate and saying, hey, I killed the guy with the scatter shot, come and pick it up. That way you can have a close range weapon in the engine. So we held that attempt to break our setup off. That was an excellent play. So here's what's happening here. As you can see, the time is 9:43. I'm going to back this up slightly so we can understand what's going on here. So as you can see, this play is going to play out. I'm going to run back to the tower, and then I'm going to take out the guy with the scatter shot, as I said. He comes around the corner, and I'm ready to pop his shield and take him down. So the time is 9:58. It's been about 2 minutes since the match started, which means the camo is about to come up. I'm going to come out to a little bird's eye view here so we can all see what's going on. So we deterred that setup break, and now as you can see, there's an enemy in the basement trying to come out toward the camo. We're going to see when the camo spawns here. And as you can see, there are 2 blue enemies that spawn on carbine because I'm still in the bunker blocking that spawn. We're doing an excellent job at this. A good way to get enemies away from the camo is to grenade against this wall in the basement. That'll put damage on anyone trying to come out through this hole in the basement and clamber to the camo. So as you can see, we shot the camo hatch down because it was about time for camo to spawn. So the camo is going to pop up right there. Let me back it up a bit and show you what I'm doing in my first person perspective as we make a push for the camo. Here's this play again. So camo's about to spawn. There is no shame in taking the sniper rifle from the bunker to the engine 2 platform to try to get a kill on basement and support your team. If you're away from bunker for that short amount of time, it's highly unlikely that an enemy is going to spawn behind you. As you can see, I come up to bunker to try to get that bird's eye view on the basement hole in case anyone wants to jump through to get to that. Camo pops, both my teammates go for it, and I'm able to pick up an easy kill in basement because that guy was distracted. Now as you can see, I jump immediately back to bunker. I killed that person, so I know he's going to be on spawn, and I want to continue blocking the bunker spawn. Now that we have camo and this spawn blocked, the person that has the camo is able to go roam around and pick up some kills without having to hold the setup. The ideal play is to hold this setup, acquire the camo, let that person that has the camo make some plays as you continue to hold off the spawns, and that's what we're doing. So the sniper rifle is getting ready to come back up, and as you can see, I have one shot left. My objective is going to be get over there, get the sniper rifle, and come back as quickly as possible. So as you can see there, I'm out of ammo, and I see someone pushing engine. Fear has the sniper rifle. I didn't get it, and I'm communicating to Fear right now. Hey, Mr. Fear, come back here since you have the sniper rifle, and let's switch places. I make a very unfortunate jump there to get to Tower 2, so now I have to go to Yellow Corner to get there. I'm being engaged on Yellow Corner, and I'm trying to push him off. But as you can see, Fear took my place. High-level Rig Slayer is dependent on you communicating with your teammates and covering each other's setup positions once you have to make a switch. Now, the blue team is pushing in here excellent. Now, watch this gunfight. This is a good gunfight, and I will show you why. Keep in mind that the theater is a little bugged and the reticle is not exactly where I'm aiming at the time. So, the shots are going to look a little funky. So, this guy right here, I'm going to show you a prime example of how to stay alive. I'm going to engage with this player. He's jumping up on the sniper platform, and I get shots on him. We're both pretty even in shots, and he jumps. I'm up one shot. So to stay alive, I'm going to jump two. That's going to throw off his aim slightly. Instead of looking at my head, he'll likely shoot me in the chest, and I'm able to finish him off with a headshot while he's trying to adjust his aim. It's always a good idea to try to crouch or jump or thrust to make your head harder to hit when it's coming down to that killing shot. Now, as you can see, my teammate just got killed in bunker. That means that this spawn is wide open for blue team to spawn on. When that happens, I don't want to push into bunker. A, because I see his body disintegrating and the kill feed tells me that he has a scatter shot, and B, because the enemy team could be spawning there. So this is a very good jump to come up to Tower 3. All you have to do is look up to that wall and crouch jump and hold clamber to get up here. So I see the sniper rifle down, and my objective is to hold the enemy team off with enough time for my teammates to come back and support me and for me to get the ammo for the sniper rifle and get back in bunker. This enemy is weak. I saw his shield pop, so I'm able to push in here. I picked up the ammo as I walked over the sniper rifle and got the SMG. He still has a scatter shot, so I need to be careful here. I'm trying to keep enough distance between him and myself where he won't one-shot kill me. That's what I do here. I start spraying him down and back up, and then I'm able to throw him off slightly and jump back up there. So now we're back in our setup. Well, almost. I have the sniper in the bunker to block this spawn. There's an enemy in engine. My teammates had the spawn on the outside since they were blocking that, so I need to hold this position long enough so they can get back in here to me. That way I can keep the setup. So this guy is in engine 2. And when this happens, this is a close quarter combat scenario to snipe from. You need to keep your heads about you and your wits when you're trying to snipe here. Don't hold the controller too tight. Don't tense up. Just relax and fire the shot when you see it line up. That's what I do here, and I get the kill. So now the enemy's been pushed back, and that's going to give my teammates time to get back to me. As you can see, they spawn on the outside because they were blocking the bunker spawn. I cannot stress to you how important it is to block the bunker spawn. So now as they're working back to get to our setup, I get a call out that the enemy is in engine 1, in nest coming to light hallway. I'm trying to watch that lane. As you can see, that enemy is trying to fire plasma caster back in here to bunker to get me out of there. The plasma caster is powerful on this map when you're trying to break a setup, as you can bounce it around corners and get kills without exposing yourself to damage. So as you can see, we're still trying to hold this setup. I'm checking every single flank as I'm getting callouts for where the enemy is. Slayer on rig can be quite boring, as I said, because you're essentially just trying to hold this setup or break this setup, and it can often go to real stally matches like this where no one wants to give up a kill. So I dropped the scatter shot trying to tell one of my teammates to come get it, but they didn't. They're all in combat, so I decided just to pick it up so it doesn't go on respawn. A little fact about the scatter shot: it always spawns right here in basement. It's also a tier 2 power weapon, which has a dynamic spawn time. That means if it's emptied of ammo and dropped, or dropped without being picked up for 30 seconds, it goes on a 10-second respawn time. So if I let the scatter shot lay there, it's going to respawn in 30 seconds, or 40 seconds rather, outside where the blue team has access to. I'm trying to deny them access to the scatter shot to help make their push in harder. So again, this comes to a stally part of the match. I'm just trying to hold down the inside. Nothing is really happening now. The blue team doesn't want to make a mistake because they're already down 10. We've held this setup really well, but We're still trying to watch our flanks in every possible angle just to be sure that they don't come through. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. I get a nice headshot there. I'm going to fast forward a little bit through the boring parts. I'm just checking our flanks. There's one in Tower 1. I get that headshot as well. And we're still in our setup. And the sniper rifle spawning in 30 seconds, so I need to be aware of that. There's going to be enemies pushing us all the time, so you have to keep checking. Right here I'm checking engine 1. As you can see, I always look down the engine 1 because that's a common direction for someone to come and flank you from when you're in a setup. So there's 2 down, and I'm trying to deny them access to this sniper rifle. I saw this enemy in there, and I know he's going to be trying to push for it. Mr. Fear gets the sniper rifle and brings it up. Back here, I missed the headshot there. So now we have 2 sniper rifles on the field. He's calling out to me that there's someone in Tower 2, but he gets that kill. So again, we're doing such a great job at holding this off. I'm going to go third-person view here. I'm going to try to get a bird's-eye view of what's going on. That way you can understand what all the rest of the teammates are doing while I'm blocking the bunker spawn. So as this is playing out, one teammate's in engine 2, as I said, watching that area. One is roaming the tower area. I wish I could get outside the map a little bit to look better. This will have to do. So tower, bunker, tower wall, and as you can see, we both have sniper rifles. Instead of him being up here in Tower 2 where he's going to be engaged at closer range, he's backing off to Tower Wall. So he's going to have lines of sight that I don't have, and I'm going to have lines of sight that he doesn't have. We're both trying to cover each other. This setup is basically extending the player in Tower back to Tower Wall. It's a little bit weaker, I feel, but if both players can hit shots in the bunker, then it's going to be a little bit better than having someone in Tower to take fire. So again, I'm still watching. That's all I'm doing. And the blue team is going to be trying to push in through here, as you can tell. They're trying to come through Tower. So here as they come through Tower, Mr. Fear calls that out. I'm watching that direction still. And the blue team's just, they're being content to be stagnant and not try to push in. If that ever happens in a game of Slayer you're playing, and you have the lead, there's no need to push them. Let them come to you and make the mistakes. Value your life. So I dropped down into basement to try to get a shot across there. That was a pretty stupid play, and I think our setup's going to be broken here because of that. I know someone's creeping up the stairs on me. And there he is. Yeah, I think I'm going to get killed here. So they're making a really good push in here. Let me show you what this looks like. They've taken control of Tower. It's always ideal to try to kill 2 enemies, at least one, before you make a push. Because what that did was force them to spawn on the outside of the map because we're getting pushed back here. So there's 2 coming from Tower and 2 coming from engine. We are trapped in bunker. There's nothing we can do here. We're trapped. All we can do is sit back in bunker and eat grenades and plasma casters. So blue team has now taken control of the inside setup. We're going to be spawning outside, and it's going to be a job to try to get us back in. I spawned yellow corner, and I'm trying to come back through. I'm playing the tower role right now. I'm trying to come through tower and get shots on that sniper to where he can't see. But unfortunately, I get my face ripped off there. I was exposed for way too long, and you just can't do that in Halo. If you do that, you are going to get killed. So as you can see, I'm now spawning on the outside of the map on Carbine due to the fact that blue team is now blocking the bunker spawn. So we're going to have our hands full trying to get back in. Luckily, the scatter shot spawned, and I've decided that I'm going to go try the way of breaking the setup through the engine. We're going to be aware that there's always going to be someone in bunker with a sniper. I'm in engine now, and as you can see, I'm crouch walking to stay off the radar, and I get a good flank on this enemy. He has no idea I'm here. I miss one scatter shot, get the kill there. So now that I'm in engine and there's one down, I'm trying to stay alive. I see the enemy in bunker just gets 2 clean headshots, and I'm really dumb for exposing myself there. I should have waited that out and wanted someone to come to me, and as such, or even dropped engine 1. But as such, I died there, and that's not a good position to die in once you get one down. You need to try to capitalize on that, but we couldn't. So, blue team. This is going to show you how this setup is pretty universal and ideal. We have one in white hallway, one in tower. This enemy with the sniper pushed up a little bit from bunker, and this guy's in engine. They're basically using the same setup that we had. They're just roaming slightly more. So because of that, we might be able to get back and get inside the bunker and break this setup now. That is the priority. However, that's easier said than done when you have enemies roaming the close quarters hallways with storm rifles and scatter shots. Anytime you go around a corner in a close combat situation on the rig, absolutely have an automatic weapon out. If you get caught with your pistol out and facing a storm rifle, you're going to die every time. So, teammate gets a kill, and now I'm thinking, well, I need to make a play here. I'm trying to look through basement window and get shots on engine. Luckily, there's a guy there on BR, but I'm taking fire from the engine platform, and I'm trying to play my life here as they're coming back slightly. So now I'm trying to flank around to the engine as my other teammates are going through. I'm flanking tower while my other teammates are going through engine. I get a really good plasma grenade there. Not plasma, Promethean grenade. Promethean grenades are extremely powerful in that they have a primary detonation and then a secondary detonation. I threw it against this wall here to try to catch him with splash damage, and then the remnants of the little EMP grenades finished the job for the majority of his shield. Now, I failed the jump here quite a few times. It's kind of a tricky jump if you don't look at the exact spot. But now I'm in a good position. As earlier they had us trapped in the bunker, take a look at what's happening now. I'm in tower. I've got a teammate sitting outside of the bunker with an SMG. These two enemies are trapped inside the bunker with two sniper rifles. Our goal is to get back there, put some pressure on them at close range without them picking us off from a distance. So I'm going to throw a grenade in there. And as it comes around the corner, Mr. Fear is able to take one out. There's still a guy in the bunker, and I thought we got them both. I'm not sure why I turned around there. That's a terrible misplay on my part. I should have pressed in from the other side and killed him. But I think he actually got away. Yeah, he did. But he comes back, and we're able to get that kill. Then I'm calling out that I have someone on the sniper platform. Take a look at what I do here. This is a good example of how to stay alive when you're in an engagement like that. I know I'm going to die. There's no way I'm not going to die here. But as such, I'm trying to stay alive as long as possible and put a lot of damage on. I'm going to jump, crouch, do whatever I can in this gunfight to stay alive and put more damage on this enemy. I turn and see him, and as you can see there, let me see if I can get a better view on that. This is me going in the tower. And we kill the two guys in bunker. And now I'm going to drop back down to the sniper platform, and I'm going to engage here. I'm going to go the further third-person view so you can see this. So this enemy comes around the corner and I take fire without knowing. I have to turn my attention to him and put as much damage on as possible before I die. So watch me crouch and jump here. I crouched once, jumped a second time to avoid the headshot and dying, which caused me to stay alive a little longer, put a little more damage on that enemy, and I'm able to get the assist as Waffle gets the grenade kill. So now we spawned again, and we're still in the bunker. We're spawning inside because that's where we're holding, and that's perfect. The rest of this game is going to be holding this setup. We broke it once, and then we are holding it again. So now I'm fairly certain we cruised to the last 6 kills, but I hope this has been a good example of how to hold a setup on the rig. As you can see, you need to be aware of all the positions and their responsibilities in case that the position you're holding gets broken, you get killed, or your teammate has a better weapon to put to use in that position. So, as I said, as you can see right there again, I spawned on bunker where my teammate is. We're blocking that spawn, we have that spawn, and that is the perfect, ideal situation. A lot of people like to do different things with the hybrid player, the roamer. But as long as you have one person in bunker, one person on engine, one person in tower, the roamer can go and support anywhere he or she pleases. I think the white corner is ideal just because they have lines of sight to cover places the other players don't. So I'm able to pick up the camo here, and that is pretty much going to cement the game, I believe. I'm just trying to stay alive here with the camo. I see a guy below us. I'm able to get the nice ground pound for the win. So, guys, that has been a breakdown on how to hold a Slayer setup on the rig. I hope this was very helpful to you, and I look forward to doing this series for the near future, and I'm hoping 343 puts a file share in. I'd like to start reviewing user-submitted gameplays. So, this has been AA25 Mamba. I hope you've learned something, and I'll see you